Nation's Kelly Meyer. Speaking of busy, she's been in the Oval Office a couple times today. She's live now on the North Lawn at the White House. So you were there with the president and the president of South Korea. So let's start there. What's happening now?
Yeah, so right now, Connell, we are waiting to see when the South Korean leader is going to leave the West Wing. The car is pulled up. You can probably see it on the pool camera over there. So waiting to see how this meeting went. But as you said off the top, the president was in a talkative mood today. We were in there earlier this morning when he was signing executive orders and got a couple questions in there about Ukraine and Russia, as well as the potential deployment of National Guard troops to Chicago. We also talked with him in this meeting here, with the bilateral meeting you see on your screen, with the leader of South Korea. This was their first in-person meeting between those two leaders, and we did get that special glimpse into that bilateral meeting there inside the Oval Office. They were talking about, really kind of growing their relationship, both on trade and defense. This is the first time they met since they reached that trade deal back in July. That was a 15% tariff on South Korean goods. They also were going to talk about manufacturing, the potential for semiconductors and shipbuilding. That's an area the president spoke about already in the Oval Office. And then on defense, there's this question of continued presence of U.S. troops in South Korea. Over 28,000 military personnel are stationed in South Korea right now, and the president is looking for South Korea to take greater responsibility of their own defense. So we're waiting to see what came out of this. We also know there's this other area where the two have something in common, and sadly it's in the area of both of their assassination attempts. The leader of South Korea had an assassination attempt in 2024 when he was campaigning, and then of course we know the president here had his assassination attempt as he was campaigning. So that's something that they sadly have in common in this first visit between the two. Connell?
Yeah, that is something. Yeah, so much going on in South Korea with the political turmoil there, and now the first visit for President Lee. One of the other things that did come up, right, was the idea of some sort of a meeting with North Korea and Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, and President Trump talked about the possibility of resolving the North Korean and South Korean relationship. This was something that the South Korean President Lee had talked about in the Oval Office. He said that the relationship with North Korea has not been as, quote, stable since President Trump left office. And the leader inside the Oval Office said he wants to see Trump establish peace between the two. So I asked the president when he might meet with North Korean's leader, Kim Jong-un. Take a listen to this.
Kim Jong-un wants to meet. When do you want to meet with him? You said the North Korean leader wants to meet. How soon would you?
We want to have a meeting. I like to have a meeting. I get along great with him. You know, you were there. We even had a press conference. He had his first press conference. Kim Jong-un had a press conference. This was a little different press conference. I said, have you done a press conference before? No. And you know what? He did great. It was a great press conference, actually.
He said he would meet at the appropriate time, he went on to say. And President Trump did say they have to, quote, stop the nuclearization regarding China and North Korea. And the president said he gets along very well with both leaders. He also plans to meet with China's president later this year, but he didn't say if he would go to the demilitarized zone, the DMZ, to meet with Kim Jong-un. Connell?
So the SUV set to take the South Korean president away from the White House. They're live at the West Wing. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.